Hey everyone, welcome back to PlaycrastiNation, population 147. Today, I am here with starting a new series. It's a game that some of you guys probably know, maybe you haven't heard of yet. But it is, I was gonna wait until like the actual title pops up, but then I realized I have like 10 minutes to fill here before that happens. Oh my god, it's thundering. Hopefully my whole computer doesn't shut off while I'm filming this, but probably won't. This is Prison Architect. It's essentially, I mean, the title bit pretty much tells you exactly what it's about. It's about architecting a prison. It's kind of like if you ever played those tycoon games as a kid, like a Zoo Tycoon or Roller Coaster Tycoon or whatever it may be. I think I had a Space Tycoon one too. Allow me to take a drink of some tea. Got a little ice cube in that. Not the wrapper, but it's essentially one of those games, but one that is much more. Oh, hey, look, it's Prison Architect. This is what I was going to wait for. It's one of those games, but it's much more in-depth. There's a lot more management kind of involved in it. So as you can see here, there's basically, this call is going to be very obnoxious, so I'm going to click it, but not actually start the game yet. I just want to stop the ringing. So we're going to leave that here. Okay, hopefully he just stays, and we don't have to do anything. But essentially, there are two modes. One is sort of a campaign mode. From what I know, I haven't played very much of this at all. I've seen some of it on YouTube. I have never really seen someone do the campaign. From what I understand, the campaign is more of a kind of a tutorial before you can go into the more sandboxy free play, basically like you would in like a School Tycoon or a Zoo Tycoon or whatever. Here's a flat plot of land, build a prison. But because, oh my god, thunder, please don't. It's not even raining outside. It's magical. But because I'm going through this the first time, and rather than playing through the tutorial or campaign, whatever you want to call it, there's 5 chapters to it, which makes it seem long enough that I figured I'd go ahead and just record them as their own individual episodes. So basically we're going to do the 5 campaign missions in a row, and then we're going to build our own prison, or attempt to. It's a fun game. I'm hoping this is going to be more of kind of a relaxed series than, say, something like, you know, almost said Pokemon Go, something like our Pokemon Volt White series, which is definitely more of a high intensity kind of series. I'm hoping this one's gonna be more like a Bob Ross, you know. We're just gonna build a little, you know, another prison over here. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, that man just smugged another man in the prison. Oh, that's great. That's great. Send me the electric chair. Something like that, you know. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into. Can you see my mouse pointer? You can see my mouse painter. Speaking of painters, Bob Ross. Okay. This is the CEO. He has a magnificent beard, and he's pointing right at me. I want you to do this. This first mission is called Death Row, so I kind of have a feeling what we're gonna be doing, but let's get into it. CEO says this is a tough one. There's a prisoner incarcerated at this facility who's been convicted of a double murder and sentenced to death. That's where we come in. We've been contracted to construct an execution chamber in time for the guy's big day. That's a fun way to put it. Who is it? Where is he? This guy right here? This guard? He's in disguise? No. This is where I want the new facility to be built. Can do. The first step with any project like this is to construct the building itself with enough space inside to fit an execution room and a holding cell. So let's get started. Construct a new building here. We will also need an entrance to the new execution facility. Build a large jail door on the south wall. Okay, fantastic. So this is, I guess, kind of their introduction to the interface. So as you can see here, it's kind of similar to, I think, the Tycoon game. I probably played Zoo Tycoon the most as a kid, but I also had a School Tycoon that I played a lot as well. And this is kind of a similar interface to what you would see, except you're not really making money in a in the school situation. I can't remember what School Tycoon was. But anyway, here you see your bank balances, how much money you have to spend on whatever you're going to be making. In this case, we're going to be making, you know, whether you're making walls or, as you can see around the entire prison, you have, you know, a cafeteria area. I think you use WASD to get around, yeah. You have power that you have to route through the entire thing. You have offices for your main employees. You, of course, have cells for all of your prisoners. You got shower areas. You have yards. You have blah, 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 blah. You have a lot of different things to spend money on. Here you have your daily cash flow, which is basically how much, obviously, like hiring people like guards and wardens and accountants, I guess, costs money. And Jesus, freaking Thor is bringing his hammer down. You make money from bringing prisoners in, so it's kind of like a for-profit prison system, I guess you could say, which is kind of interesting. So that's your daily cash flow here. It'll tell you how many prisoners you've had. They actually separate them by what kind of security they are, so I think once you go in and you play your own version, you can decide which kind of prisoners you want to take on. If you want to do a minimum security prison, which is probably like, you know, minor thefts or like, I don't know, something minor, it'd obviously be really easy. They're probably not too violent, white collar crimes maybe, whereas if you go to like a supermax prison, you're gonna have, you know, convicted murderers and felons and serial killers, which would obviously make the game a lot more interesting but more difficult. But anyway, we're like 5 episodes away from that, so let's first start by constructing a building to house the execution facility. So down here is where all of your build type of things are. Here we have foundation, which I guess we'll make this out of concrete or brick. Does it really matter? I don't think it does. It's a pretty simple interface. It's a click and drag interface, as you can see here. And then as soon as you start building, we're getting a call from our CEO, and he's going to explain what I was just about to explain. Fantastic. Your workmen are responsible for the construction of buildings. They'll collect the steel and concrete from this storeroom and take it to the construction site. They'll use those raw materials to build the foundations and framework of your new building. This is the slowest part of construction, so you should plan ahead when building new facilities. While we wait, take a look around, use WASD or the arrow keys to move around, and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Well, fantastic. We've already been doing that. Lovely little prison you got here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's your name? You're tired. Get over yourself. We also need to build a door, a large jail door right here, so we'll go ahead and do that. And like he said, oh, excuse me. This is one of the longest processes is watching these guys build, but luckily up here, as you can see, we have a little timer thing right here that you can actually just go ahead and put it into, you know, single fast forward, double fast forward, whatever you want. And then once they finish the foundation, whoa, it fills in like so, and it looks really cool. We're getting another, you didn't even call this time. You're just speaking now. Inside the building, I want a cell and an execution room. The partition the space by constructing some brick walls. Can do, sir. I can do that. So obviously once you're inside, you choose what you want your different things to be made of. We want brick walls for these, and luckily this first one is really nice, and it literally gives you the instructions of how you're going to be making these. Up here, what's kind of cool is we can't see too much into this yet, and I don't know much about it. When I was kind of clicking around and seeing the different things, danger. Does this mean, no, danger level's low. No Sterling Archer here. There's no danger zone needed. Kenny Loggins can take the day off. As you can see here, it seems there's some sort of like scheduling that I guess you can schedule when your prisoners are allowed to do what they're wanting to do. So it would seem that you could, you know, you could basically choose how you want to run your prison. Do you want to have like a rehab prison where prisoners have a lot of freedom and they can learn stuff and then they can leave back into society? Or do you have you could do one where they're literally locked up 24/7. I don't know how you do that. That's something we can experiment once we get further in to Prison Architect to actually like building our own prison. Finish that last wall for us. Fantastic. Probably going to be getting another call real soon. Now add large jail doors to those dividing walls. You can rotate an object by clicking R or pressing the middle mouse button. Fantastic, we can do that. We pretty much got what's going on here. Those are most of the basic features of Prison Architect, I think. I mean, more important ones we'll be learning coming up. I figured I'd go ahead and do the tutorial. That's looking good. We now need to designate rooms within those spaces. Designate a cell in a small area where our condemned inmate will live. Then designate the execution room itself in a larger area. So that actually is an important thing that I forgot to mention. So most of these are building options, but one of them is actually a designation type of thing called rooms. And so what this is, it's this basic, it's basically just a means. So as you can see here, when you highlight one of them, there's not only a number, see we have 51 there, it'll show you which rooms are designated as cells. It's basically just a way to tell the game what it's supposed to do. Basically, like you could make a square here and put food and stuff in it, but it won't know that it's a kitchen until you actually say, hey, this is a kitchen, and then we designate it. So here we need to designate a cell for him. We also need to designate an execution room right here, and now the game knows what these are meant to be. Fantastic. Give me the call. Those new rooms have requirements before they become functional. The cell needs a bed and a toilet. Execution room requires the electric chair. So again, these are all in objects. Oops, that is a bench. And like he said, each room has different requirements based on what the room is before it can... You could make something a cell, but until you have... I don't know where it'll say it right here. Yeah, you need... you have a minimum size requirement. You have... Obviously, it has to be enclosed and be indoors. And then finally, you have to have a bed and a toilet in there. Here, for an execution room, all you need is that electric chair. Not too much for the execution room, I guess. But yeah, it's... Like I said, I'm hoping this is going to be more of a... something I can do to de-stress after, you know, spending a long day in class. I can come home, open my prison architect. Hopefully nobody riots and we can just relax, have a nice, peaceful prison architect experience. Another call. That's the essentials taken care of, but there are still a few improvements you could make. It's up to you, though. These aren't strictly required. It depends how much you care about your prisoners and their environment. I'm ready. I care a lot. The cell itself could be improved with an outward-facing window and a small bookshelf. Okay, what else? And the facility would look better with a higher quality floor material like wooden floorboards or mosaic tiles. Fantastic, okay. Outside you could add some lighting, add a paved pathway if you think it needs it. What is happening here? Oh, is this our inmate in question? I heard someone laughing or maybe crying. What's up, Scut? This is the man in question, Edward Ramsey, a teacher once, would you believe? It's not our place to decide if he deserves this. The law has made that decision. We're just here to do a job. I mean, it's true. Once you are satisfied the facility is ready, you can begin the prisoner transfer to his new cell. Simply click on the Polaroid in his cell to initiate the transfer. Okay, they're free to go, but he's not. Okay. So as you can see up here, we have all these optional, which again in the game is optional. So then that's something you can do once you can decide like, oh, this is mostly just aesthetic stuff. You can decide like, oh, I'd like to make a nice path connecting to my other path here. Or perhaps you want to put some, you know, nice wooden floor in the execution room, make it easier to clean. You don't have to worry about. Let's give him some white tiles in his cell and maybe put some fancy tiles in the entrance room so people know we mean business. Put some fancy tiles there too. But like I said, these are mostly aesthetics. Some of the things, like windows you can see here, putting a window to the outside, actually has some sort of benefit. It actually can help increase your prisoner's moods and things like that. We'll put a bookshelf in there too. He might want to read on his last day on Earth, but a lot of that stuff is mostly just like, especially paths. Paths are pretty aesthetic, I'm pretty sure. I don't know that they have too many implications as far as like actual in-game mechanics. That's a good looking execution room. It's gonna be a shame when we have to clean the brains up, but okay, we did all the optional things. So let's go ahead and see what what's your name, Edward? You're not moving at all. Let's see what Mr. Edward Tomsey was his name, Ramsey? We can click to trigger the next chapter of the story. Ooh, the chief is calling now. Okay, Thunder, it's really enough. Oh man, here we go. We got some storyline happening here, with some pictures involved as well. The priest seems very concerned. Don't shed one tear for this guy. He's a stone-cold killer, guilty as charged. He's even confessed. Want to hear his description of what he did? Okay, the music's getting a little sketchy. It's juicy stuff. It was around 11 p.m. The lights were already on. I knew she was home. Let's see. Oh, we get a little flashback cutscene here. What do you do, Mr. Edward Ramsey? He's walking up a pathway. Is this him coming to the prison? Doesn't seem like it. He's going home. He's going to his home. There's a lovely bathroom. Dude, I hope they make like a... There's a knife on... He's going to use the knife, isn't he? Yo, is she on his... Oh. I guess the sound's kind of... Oh, dude, cover it up. There's no booby there. There is no booby there. He's got a gun, by the way. I knew I'd catch you two here. Oh, crap. I gotta click down here to continue. Oh, there's too many boobs. I can't cover them all. Edward's wife, Susan. Edward, Oh, crap. Just don't. What are you gonna do? Oh, Jesus. Well, it's not gonna like... Alright, he's dead over here now. He has a bullet hole in his head. Oh, she's also dead with a bullet hole in her head. So... Is that... Oh, no, you're just gonna come like sniff the body, maybe? Is that what he's going for? Oh! At least she covered his arm. Or, I mean, not his arm, his third arm, I should say. And now he's just, like, observing what he did. It's a little gruesome. A little bit. Yeah, he's gone. You left the gun at the scene. I'm not a professional murderer, but I'm pretty sure that's the first step in getting caught. Oh, good news, these guys are coming back. Hereford. Clear as day, if you ask me, deserves every volt he's gonna get. All men deserve forgiveness, even him. Are you so sure in yourself that you can deal out such final judgment? Catching a wife with another man is no excuse for what he did. And he went there with a loaded gun, knowing he'd find them together. That's double premeditated murder. All right, well, this man knows his laws. He's done nothing but cooperate with the authorities. This state is making an example out of him. If he committed a crime 100 miles north, he'd be looking at life imprisonment instead. How is that justice? Do you want a guy like this running free? I'll sleep just fine at night knowing when he's gone. That knowing was not in there. It's interesting. The priest is like serving as his attorney or whatever you want, but the attorney thing has already happened. Good work so far. However, there is one problem. The execution room isn't functioning yet because it doesn't have any power. How are we going to murder this man? We need to connect it to the electrical supply. All right, so here's where you get into the confusing stuff that hurts my brain stem. All right, let's get through it. We are now viewing the prison in utilities mode, which shows us the electrical wiring layout for the entire prison. Each building in the prison is connected to the power grid by these thick underground electrical cables. Fantastic, you can see them here. This is the part, you can read his stuff if you want. This is the part of, like, I used to play, like, what are those games called? Sim City? Oh no, this entire wing's out of power. This freaking Forrest is having a rough day. You can't even see his own butt. Yeah, we'll fix the problem. This is the part of, like, Sim City I always was terrible at because as a kid it always hurt my brain, but now that I'm older, hopefully we can manage it. It's pretty simple. Basically, these large electrical wires carry big electrical charge, and then you can see these tiny ones. I don't know why I'm pointing with my fingers. If you can see these tinier ones with these little nodes, basically the green shows if something's getting power or not. So we'll speed up as these guys come and put more of the larger electrical wires in, which in turn helps power the individual rooms. And then eventually we'll come down here to the electric chair after we get this wing powered on. I'm pretty sure that's what he's gonna want to say. Thank goodness for the speedy up button, as in pretty much any game. Okay, all the rooms are now connected, as you can see. You don't have to do the obnoxious part of, like, putting in the tiny ones. You just have to put the big ones in, as far as I know. But what do we... Lights aren't the only thing that needs power. Your new electric chair does too. Fantastic. So as you can see here in... Okay, yeah, got it. As you can see here in utility mode, some kinds of devices are special and they require so much power that you have to hook them directly into the large wire. You can't just use the small wires on it. And apparently the electric chair is one of those things. I guess it would require a lot of power. I've never really looked at the science behind getting zapped to death. Speaking of zapped to death, it's freaking lightninging like nobody's business outside. But another good thing about recording this in more of a peaceful kind of way. Oh, look, we got power. A peaceful kind of way is that I can don't have to use face cam, so I can record at nighttime when it's dark and storming. We're almost done. I think we should test the new execution room at least once before we try to use it, though. I'm just going to turn it on for a few seconds to make sure everything's okay. All right. Turn it on, baby. I'm going to drink some tea. Yo, you're the worst at flipping switches I've ever seen. Well, that didn't work. Looks like we drew too much power and tripped the circuit breaker in the power station. The whole prison's dark. We're gonna need more juice. So go get some orange and apple. Got it. So, as you can see here, yeah, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. I'll explain it better than you ever could. As you can see here, there are these things called capacitors, which basically, so you've got this little thing here. That is basically your bar of how much energy is being used. So let's start by clicking on this and switching it back on. Boosh. And so you can see this red here. If it gets to the top, that's when you're going to blow a fuse, and that's when you're going to have issues. However, if you build some capacitors, you can build capacitors all the way around this thing. And by building those, which hopefully these guys will come do right now, you can see... Yo, workers. I need you to freaking put the lead out. Put the lead out. Yo, what is happening? Okay, they're coming. So as you can see, every time one of these is added... Ready? Are you ready for this? That's a great sound. Bam! We get another bar. Bam! We get another bar, which basically increases our electrical potential. So, but the furthest you can spread a generator out is, I guess, one capacitor around the entire things. But I think the more capacitors you have, it's like a higher fire risk or something like that. Don't know. That's something we'll find out another time. But obviously you can just build multiple generators. Okay, we're gonna try switching this back on. As you can see here, when you click on things, you have options sometimes with them. Within cells, if you suspect that a man is up to no good, you can tell someone to come search the cell and they'll come search it, which we're not really supposed to do right now, but I did anyway, so let's see what they find. You guys find anything? Anything in there? Nah, checks out, we're good. We'll try switching this back on and see. Does it zap? I mean, apparently it's zapped. I didn't hear anything, but... Well, that hurt. Well done, I believe we're finished with this job. What happens now is out of our hands. We did a professional job, and that's important in our business. Try not to worry about what happens next. I mean, I have to watch it, so... Okay, no, this is not a flashback. That's Jesus up there. I like the whole, like... I really like the art style in the game, I will say. Like, these little dudes here. There's another game which recently came out called RimWorld, which is kind of similar to this. I like the Polaroid, like, side-by-side as well. It's a game called RimWorld that actually, like, I don't know if you could say bought the rights, but or at least, like, got permission from this company, which was Innovative Studios or something. It's said at the beginning. You can rewind to the first second of this video to basically ask, hey, can we use this building style and person style? Can I help you? Oh, you still got blood on you. He's upset. Oh, that's a very compromising position. You should be careful. Are you looking for forgiveness? I don't know. I have to do something. I can't live with the things I've done. I just blew 2 people's heads straight off. You have to turn yourself in. Whatever you've done, you cannot evade the consequences. You will never be able to live with yourself until you face up to your past. I want to go back. I want to forgive her. I want her to forgive me for shooting her in the head. God will forgive you no matter what you've done if you ask him to. You didn't capitalize him. Oh, God, child's play. But you must answer for your crimes in the eyes of the law. There is no other way. So it's cool because, like, this campaign mode has kind of a story. As you can see, each mission, I guess, has a different story to it. Whereas the free-to-play doesn't really have any of this story experience. So I figured I'd play through the campaign for you guys. Just in case you want to learn how the game is played, learn the mechanics along with me. Might be kind of fun, but also because in case you want to see these chilling storylines. It is time, Edward. You have done the right thing, even though this world will not forgive you for it. You will be with God soon, and he will have the final judgment on you. He did it this time. Inconsistent. Alright, he's on his way. I really don't want to have to, like... I hope he doesn't, like, jiggle in the chair. I hope it just, like... dead. Let's see, though. He's gonna walk this way. The guards are... Which one's the chief? Are you chief? Whichever one's chief. He's happy to see him go. Alright, we're going in the execution room. I can't see. Can we pan up? Maybe they won't show it. Maybe they'll just, like... Maybe he'll just walk up. Oh, no, they're gonna show it. Alright. It's the chair. It's a little... Pretty cool headband right here, if you ask me. And the cool bracelets. It's just like a jewelry chair, if you think about it. For, like, the nation's coolest trend setting. I'm gonna drink some tea while we watch this man die for his actions. I mean, he may have overreacted to the whole wife in the bed thing, but, like, you can understand why he'd be upset, but, like, probably, like, shooting 2 people in the head is probably, like, not a sane person's course of action. Usually just, like, talking, or maybe, like, punching the dude even in the nuts or something. Okay, this man is getting ready to... Oh, you just had to get the close-up of the Polaroid. Dude, what if his really these guys are just gonna, like, walk by? I see you, Michael. Edward Ramsey, you have been found guilty of 2 counts of murder in the 1st degree. The penalty is death. Do you have anything to say? Susan, I'm sorry. That's all she wrote? Those are your last words? Or here's some, and then Jesus saved him from the electric. Do you hear that? Oh! Was he saved? Or this is him transcending into heaven? I don't know the rules of getting into heaven, but I'm pretty sure murdering 2 people is a no-no. But that's not, you know, those aren't my rules to set. All right, it goes to darkness. Is that the end? It's the end of chapter 1? It seems like it's over. Oh, this is chapter 2, Palermo, which we don't want to do. No, we don't want to do chapter 2. Chapter 2 seems very loud so far. Everything is on fire. Okay, this is loud. Yes, there clearly is a crisis, but this is what we'll get to in our next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe to become a citizen of PlaycrastiNation today. Get excited for more Prison Architect in the future. We'll pick right up here. I wonder if the longer I wait here, the further the fire will spread. If I just wait here talking long enough, it seems to be. Like, that wasn't there. It seems if I just wait here long enough, the entire map will be consumed in flames. So we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time for some more Prison Architect.